It's been a minute, it's been over a month, but they're the backyard trails. And this video is sponsored by Squarespace. From marketing tools to analytics, they are the one-stop shop to go online and build your own mega website. Let's wind it back a month. That's the biggest backyard landing ever, isn't it? We've found a really optimal way of packing in landings using a track car. It's a bit overkill, but it doesn't half do the job.
Oh my god!
The takeoff's too narrow to use the Nomad because to get a tyre in the middle, you have to have a feature twice as wide as the wheelbase. At Gorge Road in Queenstown, they use quad bikes and they've even modified them to put like slick tyre alloys on the quad. It's so sick. But they build their takeoff so wide that it can go tyre in the middle, tyre on the outside. So all their takeoffs are twice as wide as a quad by design. Kind of clever. We messed up, so I got a moped. How can I fake you this? Moped works really good. It's even slicker tyres. You can get right to the edge. I really recommend the moped. So Ben's not ridden that yet, but myself and Jamie have. It's an epic jump. We've actually cut about that much off the top of the deck of the landing, so the gap's now shorter, which will mean we'll be able to go higher, but there's not really much interest in riding it now because there's a car in the way, a pile of dirt, which is actually sharp. You know what I mean? Put your fist like, it's just not nice. Imagine actually the ribs.
Ah, jeez.
So we're going to turn this sharp pile of dirt in this video into a second jump, build and ride episode. Got my digger, got my dumper, got a quarry down the bottom. What more can you want? So without further ado, you'll all be so blessed and surely thrilled to hear the music. Build laps. New jump. We're into mega build territory now. I mean, this is weeks of work, not days, not hours. These take so long to build for so many reasons. And between me, Ben and Jamie in the last sort of 3 weeks while we've been building this, a lot of us have been away. We haven't been together loads. That's why the build laps was lacking probably a few clips and didn't flow perfectly. But to make up for it, I built a third jump, which we'll get to in a minute. But come and look at this absolute monster. It's not like the playground where you're working with that loose sand where you can kind of adapt jumps, build them quite quickly when we're working sort of nipple height. These are massive. I mean, that's such a big lip, isn't it? Working with this dirt is absolutely the hardest thing I've ever worked with, but the reward is really awfully quite mighty, isn't it? Look, listen. Oh, it's so rock hard. The best stuff ever. But as you can see, we kind of push clay into the cracks. That was the advice after the last video of how to deal with the cracks on the side, but that was probably done 2 weeks ago. Well, I've been to Nines, we've been to Malverns, and now more cracks form, and this side of the jumps get way more sun. The sun goes round like that, believe it or not, on another cloudy English day, but that just cracks loads and they turn into like these mini, I mean look, it's a sad story, but that comes away so easily, but after being finished it's like perfect glossy sides, backs, this whole thing collapsed during the build laps. We lost 2 days to that. So we've left a gap in the middle. Now, you'll probably think compared to the first, this one is very short. It is definitely shorter, but the landing is way taller. This is a monster step up and it's way more steep. So my thought process is, first jump's like very typical, slightly stepped up. Then if you want to really pump, you can. We could absolutely spine this one. It's like short and steep, big tricks, backflips, but you're gonna have to pull back. I imagine if you push through on this jump, I'm gonna land down there, which we're gonna do today. Coco now used to have tennis balls, now she only wants to chase rocks, which is the strangest thing.
Will she chase into the lake?
She will, but being a rock, it'll sink. It'll keep her occupied for 25 minutes and she won't break her teeth. So the racer, I didn't know what to build here. You know, when you're building trails in a straight line, you built one jump, then we build another jump that's slightly steeper, more stepped up. If the third jump was another version of that, it could have been, it's hard to say, like would that have been epic or would that have been boring? Do you know what I mean? But I think adding a racer changes things because it's a chance to modify your speed and adapt. This jump, if it works, if it's the right size, if the second even works, can be ridden in a lot of ways. You can absolutely push down and through it and be about this high and kind of double your speed. Or if you overshoot that, case it, do a big trick and land a bit sloppy, you can use the fact that it's kind of long and low to pop. And I'd like to think that this racer, being how big it is, I mean look how big it is trickable. All the racers we've built in the backyard trails, the playground, even at that Brink pump track, they're just mini jumps. This should be flippable, 360able. And again, look, all that clay and all of these cracks. Jamie did this one, he's pushed all of that clay into these cracks and now it's cracked again. But I think all this stuff's going to be here to stay. We've just got to be good on the tarping. And if you look at the landing, I found a new brown dirt in the quarry, which I thought I'd test. It is quite crumbly, but when you work with it, it's like nougat. Real like
nougat?
Yeah, it's thick. It's like plasticine but dense. I think with a bit of water and a shovel that could go off. But look, we have a line of trails and I'm so over the moon about it because this was the year to build this, but it's also been the most frustrating year in a way that I haven't been boots on the ground able to just crack on. But 3 jumps that have taken a good couple of weeks each. And really, I think if I build one more after this racer, it could be done for the season. Now I'm gonna ride it in a second, which I'm nervous about because there's 2 new features to ride, which are very difficult to change or alter. But what do you guys think I should build here? I've stuck to the theme of straight jumps, which is important. I wanted to do that. I wanted just a really straight as an arrow line. But now we're at the point where I could build another straight one, or to maximize, well, I could build a straight one and then turn left along that fence, or we could hip now and go diagonally into that field, because jumping the fence appeals to me a lot in a way, but also transfers would. But I own that field too, so we could now go that way and it still goes downhill all the way to my digger. So comment ideas please, that's really important to know what you guys would build. But it's time to ride and test this line. So I've dusted the cracks, watered them, learned all the little repair tricks we've learned over the years. Let's test it. Also, if you want to test out Squarespace, there's a 14-day free trial if you use the link in my description below, where you can get a feel for all the features. I mean, it's free, everyone loves free stuff. If you want to turn your living room into a massage parlour, surely you could build a website for that for free in 14 days using the multiple contributors feature, email campaigns, and of course calendars to book in appointments. There's also a 10% saving if you use the code down there as well. So I'm going to test these jumps. Why don't you go and build a website? No, actually stay and watch from now. It's quite windy, which I don't like. It's quite flat round here too, so I'm gonna have to get used to it, aren't I? 3 jumps, ideally I'll ride all 3. I need to man up and pull up on the second to not land flat, I think. There's a lot of guesswork. Ignore my muddy bike too, please. I fell in a lake. You ready?
Are you?
Yeah, backyard trails, mate.
Woo!
Born ready. See you in a minute. Here we go!
Woo! Oh my god!
Oh! Oh!
Whoa, you just did the whole lot!
Yeah,
That's not what you planned! You said you were going to do one and stop.
in the back of my head I wanted to go all the way, but I didn't think I'd be able to.
That's sick.
Yes.
Nice one, mate.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
It's such a strong headwind.
Yeah, I felt it.
And I didn't jump the first grate. I didn't go anywhere near as high as I did when I rode it.
Oh no, but you didn't
episode.
case it. First episode,
You can see my tyre mark on this.
Yeah.
I did not pull up on this.
No.
The landing's massive. That landing will feel better when I'm high. I could, honestly, if there was no headwind, it would be so different. I did chainring that.
Yeah, I saw.
Good job it's got 5 foot of deck on it. I'm going again. We've got a working line. Oh, it's so windy. Yes.
Oh!
Oh!
That was way better.
Yeah, I'm really close to clearing the racer. The racer's massive. I like this. It sends you higher than I thought.
Yeah, you did go really high.
But my favourite aspect of the whole line is just sat at the top of the rolling looking down at these. And they're in the garden again, you know? Consistent landing on that.
Yeah, I was
Like
going to say,
3 inches
pinpoint.
both times. But did I go slightly higher on the second one?
Yeah, well, it looked way nicer.
This could be perfect. But the fact there's 5 foot of case pad means I could trim it shorter.
Yeah.
Definitely can't race it. I can't judge it until I've done the second. This is the thing when you build 2 jumps at once. They have to complement each other, don't they? I'm going to keep going. Should we do a POV run?
Yeah, do
Get the
it.
Insta on. At some point it would be nice to add a handrail to this rolling, just to make it a little bit safer, which I ought to add at some point. I'm not a complete lunatic. This is the view I was talking about. Look at that! I know it's windy, but that field has never looked better, honestly. No lawnmower, no lines, no football pitch has ever looked as good as when you dig up your lawn. And now we can go straight, then left, or transfer. Could go into that field. Sheep would be less than pleased. But we're on now. Oh, I love that middle one. Oh, I love that middle one. Oh, just short. I need another 6 inches on the racer, which probably equates to 6 inches more height on the second, and we're away. What a sick line. Yeah,
Oh.
Whoa, look at the speed.
Yes! You fly down there.
Yeah, it gets ridiculous then. That wind's affecting me all the way from the start. I'm rolling in and pumping the roller the same as back when we filmed the first video.
Okay.
And I think then I was going 3 foot higher on the first.
Yeah, yeah.
So that just declines, whereas we want to increase. This line does go downhill. You can see the speed down here is ridiculous. I personally would like to build a roller after this racer, so you can build and build, and then the last jump will be, well, not the last, the next jump, whatever it is, will be significantly bigger than what's in the line.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, I don't know, story of the playground. Let's build a massive jump, and it's too big, wasn't it? Every time mark's within 8 inches of the top of the second. The second jump's like the most accurate one we've built, so it's almost lucky it collapsed, because when it collapsed we made it shorter and taller. I'm going to
Perfect.
flip the first again, because I did that last time.
Okay.
Have you seen the trails from all the way over there?
No.
Go and have a look. It's sick against the sky.
That looks insane. Gemma's boat. Oh!
Oh, it's alright, I'm stopping.
What? That's so funny. I was literally eyeing that up thinking, oh, I wonder if tomorrow there'd be space to actually stop before the racer.
I landed deep. I mean, my actual plan was to flip then flip. When have we ever built a line of jumps? I know, call me boring for building a straight line, when in the past all the comments and interaction has been around the crazy shapes and shark fins and whale tails and themes and all of that. So call me old fashioned, but when have we ever built a line where you can just back to back trick? You know?
Yeah, never. And it is what you've always wanted.
I'm getting my bug back to Slopestyle. I want to be able to link flip whips, 3 whips to, you know, fronties.
Alright.
I don't know how to do that. Sorry, I'm getting carried away.
Cool,
Says
that,
the
man.
guy who fell in the gap, you know. The backyard trails are actually pretty big trails. Okay, I'm going to hopefully find a gap in the wind, but I don't know if I'll be here till Thursday. Come on, mate. Here we go.
Oh!
Oh god. Oh god. No! That comes up so fast, that racer. I had to abort. I think I've just eyed up the transfer. Racer to Cambered Landing to over the fence. Or something like that. Yes! We've got a sick line! I'm actually so excited about the potential for this place. It is backyard trails on steroids, isn't it? They've gone ballistic. We can go so wide, so long. Ben, You've got to ride this. Jamie's here tomorrow. Let's have a riding session this week, and let us know the ideas for that next jump, because we are going to carry on building this week. It's all boots back on ground now, firing on all cylinders. Are they even statements? I'm like mixing. All boots are back on ground. And finally, in other news, if you go to healthfair.com, we've got some amazing new products on there. These t-shirts, hoodies, a whole new range of casuals. Brand new gloves are on their way in the coming days, and these trousers are what I'm most excited about. We've completely perfected the fit on these now. They're amazing. We've absolutely dialed it in. They're so much comfier. They're so good. The feedback's been amazing from guys and girls. So yeah, we've dialed them in. The new trousers are here to stay and they're amazing. So keep an eye out for those. See you in the next video, legends.